So we're talking about if it's really possible to heal from toxic love. I guess I'm curious, what does toxic love even look like, and how can a woman know she's in it?
That's a great question. Toxic love looks like just what it is, toxic. We know toxic is something that's not good for you, something you're supposed to stay away from. When it comes to chemicals, whatever the case may be, they're toxic for us. So toxic love, in my opinion, is when you are in a relationship with someone and you know it's bad for you, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally, but yet you still stay. And it can be emotionally draining, physically draining, mentally draining, but yet you stay. That's toxic love. How someone can know that they are in toxic love? They feel that they are depleted. They are putting in more and more. They're not getting anything out from their partner. And they're continuing to pour. And even on that level, when they're continuing to pour, they just continue to stay.
Now you mentioned you continue to stay. Why do you think people even do that? Like, why stay?
I believe people stay because they feel that they can work it out, or things will work themselves out, or they believe, oh, he'll change. Oh, I can change him. Oh, well, he won't do it again. Let me give him one more chance. And that one chance turns into 20 chances, and that 20 turns into 40, and it keeps multiplying. And so they just feel the need to stay because somewhere in their mind, they think things are going to get better. Or even the woman may think, oh, she's the one. Baby girl, you really not the one. You're one of many.
Was there a moment when you realized like the relationship you were in was damaging you more than helping you?
I realized the relationship I was in was damaging me in a sense where I didn't feel that I was the only one. Like, I stayed in the relationship, but I continued to just have this feeling, like, I don't believe I'm the only one. However, we have a son. Okay, let me just stay. All right, okay, we can get married. This can work out. But in reality, to me, I was discounting myself. It was damaging to me because I continued to stay and just wasn't going in the direction that I had hoped. And what was the other question? To go along with that?
Was there a moment? So was there like a defined moment that you realized, or was it like something that's gradually got more and more like something you realized? How did you realize it? Was it like one day you just had an epiphany, or was there like a gradual, slow type of like realization?
About the damaging part.
About the toxic, like
about the
toxic.
Yeah, it was slowly, but then there was a defining moment. I could remember one of his neighbors telling me, "Oh, he's sneaking women over here. Why you ain't here?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. So this is what's going on, right?" And when she told me, I knew she wasn't lying because I had already, pieced the puzzle together. I already had the mindset like, okay, it's just not only me, but yet I stayed. And that was toxic for me to stay, and people are telling me that, hey, there's other women involved. And so I believe at that moment, I'm like, okay, this is what it is. I've even had a woman call me and tell me, don't know how she got my number. Obviously, she must have went through his phone or somehow, some way, she got my number. And she told me that they were messing around. I confronted them with it. And, of course that didn't go well. But yeah, I still stayed. Because I have a son. Let me just try, give people chances, right? Yeah, okay.
Now, do you think, is this like something that most people deal with, or was it only you that, like, based on what you have seen in your life, was it something that's common? Is it something that's common to see a lot of women do that? Whereas they would get signs from people telling them that this is going on, but still choose to stay?
Yeah, I believe it is common. I believe women stay in relationships for various reasons, whatever their reasons are. And they stay because they tolerate the bull crap from the partner, from their male partner. And they know they have an opportunity to leave, but they stay. So I do believe that it is common. Even with the signs, even with the women, other women calling them, telling them about their boyfriend or their husband or whatever. I know people who it has happened to, but yet they stay. So I do believe it is a common thing or common pattern for women to stay despite the signs that they are given from other women.
Now, in the world of today, you have so many people that define how you can get out of that and how you can start healing. And in your opinion, what does healing actually look like in real life? Not like how they make it look like in movies and Instagram and all that.
Healing is a process. Healing is being able to, for one, take accountability for your actions, taking accountability for what you could have done differently, and also holding the other person accountable, your partner, your boyfriend, husband, holding them accountable, not giving them a pass, but also not giving yourself a pass. So really, healing is being able to face the decisions that you made without staying angry. Because you can't get angry. You can't get angry at yourself, mad at yourself. That is a possibility that it can happen. You can even get mad and, angry at the other person. But definitely being able to face that anger. After facing that anger, being able to forgive yourself. We always hear forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. So you really have to sit and think, am I willing to forgive myself? Do I want to forgive myself? Because you have to deal with you first before dealing with the other person. Once you deal with you, forgive the other person.
That's a good point. Do you think, like, can a woman really attract the right man even though she's still broken inside?
No. I believe the woman cannot attract the right person even though she's broken inside. I do believe, and I'll tell you why. I do believe you attract what you are. If you're broken, you're going to attract someone who's broken. It's almost kind of like what they say, birds of a feather flock together. You know, you have to deal with your brokenness so that you can attract the right person. That person is out there, but I do believe if a person is broken, they cannot attract the right person, their ideal person.
Now, how can, like, say, a single mom start rebuilding her self-worth when a man has already torn it down?
That's a great question. I would say for a single mother, she has to recognize she's enough. She has to be able to have the mindset that it wasn't her fault. She has to recognize that she deserves what she wants. When she recognizes her worth, see herself for who she is, not for how the other person, how the boyfriend or the husband, how they saw her, but when she sees herself for who God sees her as, she can start rebuilding herself. And that way she can truly see her beauty for what she is and not rely on a man to validate her beauty. I would say starting there, really, really understanding her worth, recognizing that, and not seeking validation from anyone.
What role, you mentioned about forgiving herself, you mentioned about forgiveness. What role does forgiveness of him and of herself play in the healing process?
Oh, it plays a big part. Forgiving herself, forgiving him, it plays a huge part. And the reason why I say that is because if forgiveness is not on both ends, there's going to be constant tension. The woman is going to grapple with tension within herself, and she's going to grapple with tension with the man. Healing allows her to be able to hold a conversation with him and not think any negative thoughts, any evil thoughts, towards that person. Not wanting to wish any harm on that person. Being able to hold a conversation, being able to be in the same space with that person. Understanding that she has moved on. And allowing him to move on. Not just her, but allow him to move on.